It's gold. Gold. I found gold. It's Rio Rancho's last millions. By God, this should help. Not so long ago, out here on the West Mesa, with the howling coyotes and jackrabbits, city, county, and state leaders joined together to tuck millions of dollars into building the Paseo Del Volcan bypass to the I-40. If you build it, they will come. Some of them believe this is Rio Rancho's lost Dutchman mine. In 2015, Mayor Hull and the governing body signed a resolution to join forces with their county and state friends and continuing funneling millions into this project while our city streets fall into disrepair.
This is being presented by myself. So this is a resolution supporting the complete development of the Paseo Del Volcan transportation corridor. The resolution expresses Rio Rancho's municipal government support for the complete development of the Paseo Del Volcan transportation corridor from Interstate 40 in Albuquerque to Unser Boulevard in Rio Rancho to spur economic development, which includes new jobs, revenue generation for public services, and to create improved transportation connectivity, access, and flow. Approximately 23 miles remain to connect the existing section of Paseo Del Volcan in the city of Rio Rancho to Interstate 40 in the city of Albuquerque at an estimated cost of $96 million. It states that the completion of Paseo corridor would open up tens of thousands of acres of land development in Bernalillo, Sanibel counties. Statement from the city of Rio Rancho expressing its support for the development of Paseo Del Volcan transportation corridor can assist in efforts to obtain funding and support for the projects.
Now the proponents say this $9 to $6 million project will spur economic growth. Well, now excuse me if I don't take the politicians at their word on that one. We've been sold down that river before with the city center built in the middle of nowhere decades before its time, and we're paying the price still subsidizing a failing event center to the tune of $3 million a year. And what about the UNM West campus that still looks like a ghost town after a decade? Someone noted that it would lead to job creation. Do you know of any manufacturers or other companies that have already expressed interest in the property, or basically is when will it lead to job creation? Is there any indication? Do you have any indication on that? Is it within a couple of years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 50 years?
Mr. Mayor, members of the governing body, I don't think it's realistic to say, no, if you build it, jobs will come in X year following it. Clearly, you won't have, if you don't build it, the opportunity to develop the properties adjacent to it as industrial parks doesn't occur. So clearly, the jobs are going to follow the construction of the road. The question as to when, no, I'm sorry, I cannot predict that.
So is the PDV bypass project fool's gold? Well, heck, it couldn't even get into the Mid-Region Council of Governments 2040 plan for funding. It did make one national top 10 list though, and that $9 to $6 million price tag. It doesn't even include the hundreds of millions in infrastructure to support development way out there. Several governing body members said their resolution to support PDV did not commit any money.
Which says approval of the resolution does not commit or reallocate City of Rio Rancho resources to the project.
Efforts are being made to secure funding for the construction of Paseo del Volcan transportation corridor from new sources. I continue, and not those currently programmed for road projects and/or improvements.
I too was going to point out that this commits no funding whatsoever at this point, that it is a show of support.
At that point, again, I would reiterate, this isn't committing us to any funding whatsoever.
Well, what do you call state capital outlay funds? Chopped liver?
Everything I read in here is we want this immediately in the support letters in the next couple of years, in the next 5 years, And I don't see that in the next 5 years. And we're naive to think that if we go after $96 million to build this, that it's not going to affect the other projects if you go after that for the next 2 years or 5 years. Because what built PDV already? Most of it was federal funds, but guess what? There was 2009 road bond money in there also, and other funds, and impact fee funds. And what's going to be building Southern Boulevard? Federal money. Federal money comes from the same place, the feds. So when you take from one place, there's less to give to those projects. So it's going to be impacting those. And we will have to build part of it ourselves or make contributions. So it will hit us eventually.
It's true, governing means making the hard choices. We just wish they'd start making some smart ones.
When you hear the words other funding sources, watch out. You should know exactly what that means.
You know, one thing is for sure. Whether you believe the PDV project will eventually help or hurt Rio Rancho, one thing is undeniable. It will cost the mother load.
On the 12th day of Christmas, our council gave to us 12 new department heads, 11 poopy parks, 10 empty buildings, 9 charter amendments, 800,000 wasted, 7 silence commissioners, 6 gag orders, 5 water rate hikes, 4 new speed vans, 3 police chiefs, 2 million down the drain, and a big fat pay raise for